30. Is Triple H going to come out in the match, or is he just going to come out and cost him if he doesn't show up?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm watching Roman Reigns, and he's starting to beat everybody up in the ring as they're counting down. And I see him set up to do the spear, and I said, Triple H is definitely coming out to confuse Roman Reigns. And that's what happened. Triple H comes out. He tosses him out before. He wasn't even the last one tossed out.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns goes out at, 28? Yeah, he was the 20th man eliminated.
Because he was the second to last guy knocked out. Because then it was Triple H and Dean Ambrose
and
for the
of
final.
course, people were clamoring for Dean Ambrose to win again.
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, I guess I go with Triple H winning. Unless I thought maybe Triple H would step over the ring and Dean Ambrose would turn heel or something. But
something like that.
You know, he has the Intercontinental Champion. Of course, we weren't going to buy it.
Because they were even saying that, commentators like, oh, could he be a double champion? He's already the Intercontinental. As soon as they said that, I was like, it's not happening. So you already told me the story. So
Yep. So Triple H is your new World Heavyweight Champion. He won the Royal Rumble, and coming in at number 30, we haven't had someone last long and win the Royal Rumble in a long time. The 20s and the 30s seem to be getting it, man.
Yep.
They seem to be lasting and winning that Royal Rumble match. We'll see where this road to WrestleMania leads for Triple H and Roman Reigns. I don't buy a Triple H Roman Reigns main event in front of over 100,000 people filling up AT&T Stadium in Dallas, Texas, in what is supposed to be possibly the biggest and most action-packed WrestleMania since the Pontiac Silverdome held 93,000. This is supposed to be even bigger than that. So I don't buy a Triple H versus Roman Reigns WrestleMania match. I think it quite possibly might be Triple H versus Rock. Or maybe if they do ever decide to dust Daniel Bryan off the shelf and bring him back, maybe a Triple H versus Daniel Bryan match. But I don't see Roman Reigns versus Triple H at WrestleMania, specifically because no one was even into Triple H versus Brock Lesnar.
No.
I mean, Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar.
No. If anything, if Roman Reigns is in the main event, it will be a triple threat match. Who that third person is, I don't know yet. You have to give me at least a week or two to think about it and come up with a name, maybe throw some names around. But right now, like you said, if it's Triple H and Roman Reigns, I'm not interested one bit in watching WrestleMania.
You'll watch it.
I'll wait till...
You'll watch it.
Stop
it. You'll watch it. Get out of here. You will
at
watch
least not the main event. Because you're going to have to do a bombshell and top last year's WrestleMania when you had Seth Rollins run down to the ring with the Money in the Bank briefcase and cash that in. Nobody expected that. I didn't expect that. I was like, oh, this is going to be the main event, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. I'm like, this is just ridiculous. I'm like, and then when Brock Lesnar started dominating him, I was like, come on, this is what's going to happen. And then as soon as his music hit, I did the OMG factor and I went nuts. I was like, oh! And my sister and my brother were downstairs, and they're like, they thought something happened to me. So, but like I said, it's going to have to be a triple threat if you're going to have Roman Reigns and Triple H in that equation, because I don't see many people tuning into that. And you're going to have people booing. When you have Triple H as a heel, and people are cheering for him, you heard everybody went nuts for him last night, but he's supposed to be the heel. And then you have the face, who's Roman Reigns, and he's getting booed, and then he's getting cheered when he got eliminated. Something's not right there.
The thing is, how much more can you try to push this Roman Reigns? How much more are you going to keep going back to this? I mean, he's been doing this since WrestleMania last year, where he's fighting, clawing to get back to the top. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to rally the fans around him. Like, man, he keeps getting pushed down, and he's trying to get to the top but no one buys it. No one buys it because
No.
He's not like, Daniel Bryan. He's not an underdog like Daniel Bryan was.
It's almost like a watered-down John Cena version. They're trying to shove this and cram it down your throats left and right. And he has his little trademark, believe that. And do I believe that Superman punch is going to really affect anybody? No. The spear, yes, because many people have used it in the past. You've had Edge use it, Rhino. The one who stands out, who was a beast, is Goldberg, who used the spear and did damage on people and got the wow factor. But the fact of the matter is, his gimmick is just done. He needs a new gimmick, needs new attire, and
still coming out from the crowd.
Still.
And he's booed for it.
He's booed, and here's the thing. I'm not buying it anymore. And obviously the fans aren't buying it when they're booing. And I feel like, let's be real, John Cena he doesn't have much time left in the wrestling world, especially with the injury he just had. I'm sure he's trying to maneuver slowly out of the limelight and do other creative things, starring in movies, TV shows that they said he was in. So eventually they're going to need their new superhero for the little kids. And John Cena did that in merchandise sales, numerous merchandise with T-shirts, hats, wristbands. So I feel right now what they're trying to do is come up with this new superhero persona of how John Cena was and cram it down the little kids' throats until it clicks, and then they're going to use him, and you're going to be sick of him as well, like everybody was sick of John Cena.
I think it's too far gone for Roman Reigns. It's sad, but it's just too far gone now.
Well,
what are we going to have him? Now he's going to fight and claw to get to Triple H at WrestleMania, and then what happens? He wins the title, and they boo?
See, they should have turned him heel. That would have been what's best for business. Have him do, like I said last week, have him do what his cousin did back in the day when he became the corporate champion, and just run with that for a little bit and see what happens and go on with that. Because you have Seth Rollins, who was the sellout, but now he's hurt. So that would be a perfect setup. You could have had him be a sellout, and then Seth Rollins come back and be like, what about me? I was your go-to guy, and set up a feud for that and have him be the face. But now you're having even more wrestlers in there. So it's a good thing for the WWE, but they don't use it correctly. Like, you have Bray Wyatt, who could be in the main event. You got AJ Styles, who should be in the main event within the next 2 months, I'd say. Or at least give him the IC title. Start him from there and then move him up. Because he's not a mid-carder. But you know how WWE acts. They're like, they get these guys, they push them for about maybe a week or two, and then they fall off the face of the earth. Especially when they have these NXT guys come in. Kevin Owens was huge when he came in. Everybody was rallying around him, Kevin Owens, and then he was going against John Cena, and then remember when he beat him for the US title and all that, and then what happened? Just got squashed.
Yeah, I mean, they could push stars, but like, man, I don't know. There's certain things, like I watch NXT and I'm like, man, this guy, Sami Zayn could fight Samoa Joe, who can fight Finn Balor, and like I could see all these scenarios where these guys fight each other, and I don't get that from the WWE. They don't build it that way. I think they do too much behind the scenes, too much movie acting. They just don't stick to the wrestling and keep it simple. Keep the feuds simple like they used to do back in the WWF days. They kept the feuds simple. There's too much going on now.
Mm-hmm. And too many gimmicks that don't work. Or lack of, I should say. Because back when we were young, everybody had like almost like the freedom. I mean, no, now it's like the PG era, so you have to watch what you say, and you can't say this, you can't say that. But The Rock, his gimmick was original. He just kind of ran with it.
That's the thing too. They're not letting these guys be themselves anymore.
Stone Cold, when he came up with that Austin 316 says, and then he just ran with it. So,
well, we'll see what happens. We're only at the beginning of the road to WrestleMania. They've set up some things, and it just, I don't know, man. I like kind of like what they're doing with, I guess, Brock Lesnar and the Wyatts, having them go at it, because who can you really, unless he's going for the title, who is Brock Lesnar really going to fight? I mean, there's really no one else. Maybe he gets so upset about what happened at the Royal Rumble that he goes after the Authority. But then again, the Authority fires whoever, does whatever. They've tried to do that with Brock Lesnar. They've suspended him, so he's kind of his own man. We don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, but Monday Night Raw should be very entertaining tonight, hopefully.
And will there be any surprises?
Will there be surprises? I saw a tweet out from WWE that a major superstar makes his return tonight. Could it be Randy Orton? Could it be Daniel Bryan? Could it be John Cena? Could it be The Rock because they're in Miami?
Yeah, and the Ballers is filmed out there, so I have a feeling it will probably be, unfortunately, The Rock.
Yep, I think it's going to be The Rock myself.
So, only time will tell.
Only time will tell. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, my friend, we are going to get into the undercard of which was a great Royal Rumble pay-per-view. You didn't like it that much. I thought it was good. We'll talk about it more when we come back to Ringside Rumble Radio on the UCR Network, powered by Spreaker.com.
Oh yes, it is Ringside Rumble Radio here, exclusively on UCR Network, powered by Spreaker.com. Make sure to follow us on Twitter at UCR Network and on the Facebook, Unified Championship Radio.
Unified Championship Wrestling Radio. No, you're right. Unified Championship Radio. Man, I'm just...
He's out of it today.
There we go.
He's getting off this buzz of Royal Rumble buzz.
Yeah, man. I thought it was really good. I know you didn't like it as much as I did, but...
I liked some of the other matches. I'll tell you one match I really liked a lot, and that was the Divas Championship match between Becky Lynch and Charlotte.
Yeah, I thought that was a good match. I don't know. I kind of expected more from those two. I think the ending is what everyone is talking about.
Yeah, the ending. But, I mean, I like Becky Lynch. She had some good moves. She had a couple arm bars going back and forth. You had Ric Flair even give her a kiss on the lips, trying to
throw her off,
a little bit. But that did not seem to work for her. So, yeah, that was a good match. And then even at the end when Sasha Banks came out,
The boss is back.
She took her rings off. She gets in the ring, congratulates Charlotte, and then all of a sudden, Charlotte turns around and she gives her the bank statement and just has that locked in.
It threw me off because first she attacks Becky Lynch, and I'm saying to myself, I hope they don't put these two together. And they shake hands, and Ric Flair leaves the ring, and then I'm like, come on. And then as soon as you see her start to run, the fans just go nuts as she basically put her in the bank statement. And then we now know that we're going to have this feud going on for a while and quite possibly a huge Divas Championship match at WrestleMania.
It could be. I would like to see this match take place, but unfortunately WWE, I feel like I
completely kill them every time.
But they have so many female talent now. It's just like, come on, use them to your advantage. Throw some more matches in, because they can actually wrestle. It's not like back in the day when you had Jerry the King Lawler having like a bikini contest and bringing out all the girls and having them in their bikinis and falling on the ground and tussling and rolling and hair pulling and ripping off the shirts and all. They can actually wrestle. And it's entertaining to watch them. They can do high-flying moves. It's like having a bunch of leaders in the ring. And Trish Stratus is.
Yeah, they do have